Athletic Director Tom Holmoe engineered BYU through 12 years as a football independent. Now they're at the end of the line with Big 12 membership starting next season. I sat down with Tom to find out if he ever thought this day would come.
I believed that it would. I just didn't know how long, and it might not have been on my watch. I think that was something that I had to come to grips with, was that even though it was something that I'd been involved with for a long time, I might have not been able to see it come to fruition.
What's been the most challenging thing about being independent in football?
I think there's some challenges. I think early on it was hard to get the games because it was so difficult. People didn't think you were real, and you had to start from scratch. When you could start scheduling them out 4, 5, 6, 7 years, then we got some decent schedules. I think it was hard when we lost a game or two early, and people said, now what, we're out of it. There's no league championship. So you kind of had to play for having a good ranking or rating, or having great players, or just kind of trying to improve the BYU brand, which was very important to where we are today.
Knowing what you know today, if you had to do it all over again, would you have stayed in the Mountain West Conference a little bit longer?
I don't think I would have done it differently. I think that we felt at the time that we needed to make a change. And I think that the positive thing that's been the strongest is that we made it on the pillars of having access and just being available to our fans. Our fans were not seeing us play. And what is a college football team without any fans? And so that being able to go independent gave our fans the ability to see us play. And as you look throughout these 12 years, when we traveled around the country, we had a fan base that doubled from what it was maybe when we were, I don't know. It just was a lot larger, it seems like, when we went to places. Even when we were in Liberty this year, there were so many people from BYU in the stands. It was amazing. We didn't give them a great show, but they were there.
Contrast these moments. You're with President Samuelson. You get the green light to go independent. 11 years later, you take a phone call from the Big 12 inviting you to come in.
Well, President Samuelson was and still remains a great mentor to me. So he gave me a ton of counsel. So there was a lot of time spent kind of knee to knee, saying, Thomas, make sure you're doing this right. And there's a right way to do things at BYU and a wrong way. And I think the key thing he said is this can't just be about money. You know, if you're just looking at it, you're going to get a bigger paycheck for BYU, and you can think you can spend more money. That's not the right reason. And so all along, all those times, we tried to build the program on the core principles that Lavelle taught us, the mission of the school, and try to do it right. We failed sometimes in those respects, but in the end, we did it well enough to get the invite.
And then that call comes as a game changer.
Yeah, it sure was. I mean, things had to change, and you think it's going to happen one way, but it happens another. It happens because Texas and Oklahoma leave, and there's a vacancy, so to speak, in the Big 12. But we had done the work previously. When we had gone down there, I think it was 6 years earlier, I think we made a great impression. They just weren't ready. So when it came time, Dave, the phone call from Bob Bowlesby lasted like 5 minutes. He just said, hey, we want to add you to the league. And I thought I was on candid camera. And it was just happened so fast. And I said, what about Sunday play? No, we're good with that. What about other issues that have popped up over the years? You know, we're taking you because we believe in what BYU stands for, and we feel you'll be a great member of the league. I said, is that it? He said, pretty much. So that was cool.
How'd that make you feel?
It made me feel good. It made me feel that just that BYU, the road that we'd traveled, you know, it was windy. It was a tough road at times, but there were some great vistas along the way. Some great vistas. I just remember, I see players that during that period of time of independence that really made a big difference. And certainly the ones that led up to independence that made all the difference in the world. And it just we're just at a next phase. It's not like we've arrived. And that's what I'm trying to drill into everybody's heads right now is it's not like we've arrived. We're just at the next leg of the journey. And where we go from here is all important.
The first BYU Big 12 schedule comes out next month. What are you most interested to see?
I mean, I've already seen most of it.
Have you?
So I think
Do you know who the home opener is?
No, we don't know dates, but we've pretty much have worked out a lot of things like who you might be playing. And it's changeable. It's not certain. But these are things that if it's going to be done December 1st, you got to have it ready. And
do you like what you see?
I like it, but I mean, how would you not? Yeah. You're playing every game on the schedules against a Big 12 team, some are at home or some are away. What else can you ask for? I think down the road, you might be a little bit more picky about the times of the game and where you play them and when and back-to-back and all those things. But right now, we're just eager to get in there and get playing.
So you could tell us if Texas is coming next year to Provo?
Not really. I can't tell you that.
Just kidding. You've seen the TV projections for the new deal. That's money that this athletic department has never even dreamed of. What challenges come with that? A
lot of challenges come with that. And like I said earlier, President Samuelson said, don't make it all about the money. And so certainly the capital, the finances that we have to raise to be able to run a successful program, this helps. But I think the core of what BYU football is all about is not the money. I think there's a lot of programs out there that get a lot of money and make a lot of money, but they're not very good. And that scares me. I think the concern is that we just keep getting better. And we have to improve, and we have to grow in every way, in every sport. Coaches, players, administrators, we're all on a road that now starts to tilt up a little bit. Sometimes it's flat, sometimes it feels like we're flying downhill. But right now, that's an uphill road.
Is there a song that best captures the last 12 years of BYU football independence? One that you hear and go, yeah, I've been on that journey.
How about Be Still My Soul? No, Be Still My Soul is one I've listened to a lot. But I would say Journey, Steve Perry, Don't Stop Believing. There's been a lot of times in 12 years where people have come up to me and said, you shouldn't have done that. We shouldn't have gone independence. Or when are you going to get out? Or you got to change this. Or we're never going to do it doing it this way. Recruiting's got to change. And I've always just said in my mind, I don't say it to them out loud, I'm respectful of our fans, don't stop believing.